Hi and welcome to Foolaroid. My name is Mellow and I'm very happy that you have chosen this unique piece of magic. I developed this effect as part of my FISM act, which was based on the theme of Polaroids. The basic idea was to teleport a person from one photo to another. I often aim for a technique that is very visual and shows a process. So I thought, how would this transformation look like in a movie? So we came up with a technique that didn't come from magic at all, but from photography and printing. The solution, lenticular printing, like a wobbly flipping image thing. You may know this from postcards. I brought some here. For example, this one. It changes the image depending on the angle you hold the card to the viewer. And here's another one. Pretty cool technique. I thought this was an effect that only worked on camera and on social media, until I demonstrated it live for the very first time. I tilted the image just a few inches in front of a person's eyes and it changed in slow motion. The reaction was incredible. I even performed it on Penn & Teller's Fool Us. I'm very excited to share this unique method with you and can't wait to see what your story will be with Foolaroid. First of all, we have the beautiful box, and when we open it, we see the first high-quality gimmick. That's our wiggle flipping image, you know. And you can see very quickly that it works right away. A nice detail is the back. It looks like a real Polaroid. We actually took a real Polaroid, scanned it at high resolution and printed it out. For me, it was important that the gimmicks look as real as possible. You don't want the audience to think that they are special props. The second gimmick is not a lenticular print on purpose, because I think that the effect is more deceptive when you use two different methods to create the routine. In the first photo, the image appears visually. In the other, it appears with a slight delay, a surprise, where we turn the image around and then reveal it. This is a photo with a folding mechanism. On one side you can see only grandma, on the other side grandma and grandpa together. When you move the mechanism, please be very careful. The flap is very thin and flat to make it as invisible as possible. If the hinge breaks, don't worry, take a look at the end of the video tutorial, I'll show you how to fix it. So here we have the transformation from the old lady to the couple. Then there is this little card that goes with it. You've probably already found it because it has a link to this video tutorial here. In addition to that, you'll find 3 special magnets on the card. There will be a special video later in which I will show you how to attach the magnets and how to perform the trick. You can find it in the advanced performance tutorial. And now let's have a look at the basic performance of Foolaroid. Up in the attic I found some photographs of my grandparents. I was very young when they passed away, but they were said to be a great couple. I know it sounds crazy, but I couldn't find a picture that shows both of them together in one photo. But maybe we can change that with magic. Now you get a detailed look at the basic version. I think this is the best way to present Foolaroid. There's a surprising ending due to the delay caused by turning the photo. The 2 photos leave room for endless stories. But Polaroids are also very special in themselves. They are unique. They are not photos that you found somewhere on your phone and printed out 100 times. The memories came out of the camera immediately. Then the photo slowly developed. It's like the moment was captured in that image. We use this emotional level and combine it with a little story, but you are totally free to come up with your own ideas that fit you and your show. So I say I have not found a photo of the 2 of them together, but we are going to change that with magic. Now we will show the photos for the first time. To do this, hold both photos in the upper corners with 2 fingers each. Slide the wiggling picture sideways into your frame so that it is always at the right angle to the viewer. Practice it in front of a mirror until you find the right angle and develop a feel for the correct position. While holding both photos by the top outer corners, automatically secure the flap and press it firmly and flat against the back wall. This is very important because otherwise the flap could cast shadows and become visible. In general, it helps for this trick if only very soft light falls directly on the photos from the front. Now start the story and grab the picture with the grandmother so that she gets into this position. This is motivated by the fact that we want to look at grandma as well, like this. As you do this, you bring your fingers into this position. The thumb is free now to move. Do it again. Hold the flap closed at the top with your finger so that the picture lies flat, and then rotate it into your hand with 2 fingers. At real speed, it will look like this. Now we have the picture in the perfect position to fold it over. If you let go of your fingers here, it will already fold forward a bit. And now you can go in there with your thumb to make it unfold even more. To work with a thumb alone would result in an unnatural movement, so we just use the movements that we have to make. We put the picture in our mouth and fold it down while pulling our hand down. The important thing is to keep the other hand always at the same height, so that the angle of grandpa doesn't change. Often you will lower your wiggle image slowly while focusing on the folding photo. Grandpa disappears in this photo with a magic gesture. Now you can either turn the picture in slow motion, like this, or flick against it. In my opinion, the most beautiful way is to take away the grandpa. It's important that you don't touch him with your whole hand, but only with your fingers. It all happens in a fluid flow. Reach around, strip, take, and then a throw-up motion. It's motivated and very magical. Now it is very important that when you come up to present the picture, you do not tip over grandpa on the other side. It helps to put the transformed folding picture on top of the wiggling picture. Then you can show it off very nicely. The second gimmick is then out of focus and we can move it freely in any direction. The important thing is to hold it down again at the bottom so that the flap is nice and flat. That is the basic performance of Foolaroid. If you want to show the effect in a video on social media, it's also pretty cool if the transformation from grandma to the couple is a bit faster. I have included 3 magnets for this. They are on the card with a QR code, and you can just pull the magnets down from there. A little tip before you start: be very careful with the magnets. If they hit each other from a distance, they can break. These magnets are extremely thin, only about a ½ millimeter thick, and this makes them perfect for many magic tricks. Now let us talk about the setup. The first thing you do is grab one of them and put it inside the flap. I always put the magnets on the side where my fingers can't hold the flap. In this case, this side. The magnets hold the corner attached to the cardboard and keep themselves in place. When I lift the flap in the middle, the pictures move apart and offer some space. I use this to put a magnet inside. For this I use double-sided tape on both sides of the magnet, and then we carefully pull the pictures apart and slide the magnet in. The plan for the magnet is to sit about here in the corner. Important, don't put any more pressure on or the magnet's imprint will come through and paint itself into the cardboard. Now we have a magnet in here. This will add some extra weight and make it easier to fold. Now stick the other two magnets to the back of the photo. The easiest way to do this is to snap the magnets onto the back and tape them in place. I always use Scotch magic tape because it is almost invisible. And now you can stick it back here. The best thing about this tape is that you can paint it over with a black marker, for example. Then fold the flap down and do the same thing at the bottom. Stick it back on and paint it black. Now let's do the performance. And again, you do it in 2 steps. You hold the grandfather on the corner at the top, then you let him disappear visibly. Then you give grandma a quick shake and they reappear together in this photo. The most surprising thing is the snap. You hold the picture at the bottom and flick the top against the picture. Have fun trying. The gimmick has been designed to be used in front of a camera. That's why we chose a very flat design and a thin hinge. This hinge is quite fragile and can break from time to time. In fact, it will break a couple of times, especially when you transform the picture with a snap. This usually results in a straight cut and the pictures no longer hang together. But you can easily repair this yourself in a few minutes. I recommend Scotch magic tape. We used this tape to make all the Foolaroid gimmicks. It's called magic tape because it's non-reflective, so it is almost invisible on the surface of the flap. You can use this tape for lots of other tricks. You will love it. What we do now to fix it? You grab the photo and if it's torn, you often have a little step in here, like this. We fix this by bending the picture up a bit and making sure that the top 2 layers are flush with each other. Then we can put a strip of magic tape on top and make a new hinge. Using a utility knife, carefully, very carefully, run along the edge and cut off any tape. The gimmick is now repaired and ready for the next show.